Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, Kagiso
Yeah.
Ngati.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I think the reason why I called you here was so I run a company called Mouth,
Yeah. Yeah.
recently incorporated. We incorporated last year, October.
Yeah.
And the reason was I saw a very big gap within the arts.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
So the company aims to create a healthy ecosystem of artists
Yeah. Yeah.
to come together and be able to rely on one another's creations
Yeah. Yeah.
to create even bigger creations
Correct.
at a
Yeah.
more bigger quality.
Yeah.
And so I was stunned to see that you have a studio,
Yeah.
which you rent out, I think, right?
Yeah. So we do rent out the studio, and also we do the photo shooting also.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have how did that start? Why did that? I know you said you started because you yourself needed professional studio for your website
Yes.
images.
Yes. Correct. So we started off around 2017. I've been doing the website, so since 2011. I've been doing the website, but then as part of the changes then Ngati was basically to implement content for those people that we are doing websites for. So what we ended up doing is I collaborated with photographers within Hamanskra. And then the first one was basically Itumeleng Jika, pixel graphic pictures.
Okay.
So he does a lot of content. He shot a lot of music videos for many big artists. Currently, he's the one that's doing a lot of content for Manat.
Okay.
Yeah, so I collaborated with him. Yeah, the Lore introducer to for what kind of equipment is needed and so forth. Then he invested in that equipment. Araka di drone, your mama. Then from Mo, we started approaching the lodge. So here by Irela website, re ba irela the content side of things. Re ba shootela di room, re shoota the lodge ka drone and so forth. So we had so many lodges tse e leng gore ne re di tshwere. Currently, sentse ne re di servisa though, but yeah, most ya tsona are basically di lodge tsa go tshwana le bo Sabumeshe, Makosha Lodge, Ultimate Sky and more.
Yeah.
Then yeah, the guest house and also hotels and so forth. So yeah, I started working with Itumeleng hona moo, and then as Itumeleng a thoma go nna le more jobs, ang introduce to other people. But through guidance ya hae a re botse gore okay, abuti ha re reke equipment so I've been buying that equipment. A mpotse gore look, go na le drone mpšha e tswile, reka drone eo fela jalo. So the intention was not to create party and so forth, but you understand who deal like a lodge. People want to see who okay, when one is hosting an event, who ba bjang.
I get that.
Yes, then Yabelore there was a wedding for Ultimate Sky, Rashuta, that wedding. Yeah, just for the lodge. Then people started requesting us through the lodge. Bare banyaga photograph. Bara dile di picture tsa bona tsa mo website. Then that's how it basically started. Then itumele nga ntsang netisa batho ba bang, netisa batho ba bang. So we started absorbing those skills. And we thought, okay, this is how you shoot the video. This is how you shoot this. This is how you shoot that.
So,
Yeah.
like, you sort of recruited Batawa Mpia into the team, but
Yes.
they weren't necessarily skilled, and then everything.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also going about that, I found it quite difficult. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I find it very difficult to get people like artists out of the woodworks or like out of where they are.
Yeah.
Like, getting an interview is so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when how were you able to even get batho ba bantšha ba ba setseng ba e leng gore they weren't necessarily skilled to come out and train for
You
your
know, Kore, I can say the existing photographers introduced people by Lauren Nenze Baba Tusa as the assistant. So when you are an assistant, Utusa a photographer, you grasping the skill gradually. For one, I'll give you an example with one of them. He's a graphic designer. Nanza Ashuta, kore ba mo ruta ba mmontsha mo le le mo. And then eventually, I can say, o kgona go shoota di-video, o kgona go shoota le di-picture, o kgona go edita di-video, o kgona go edita le di-picture. So I think determination ke yona e le goreng e 'ira motho gore a learn skill and a se tlhaloganye and a se take a further. So there's a lot of skill, Muhammad Skral. I don't
there's a
want to lie.
lot, yeah, there's truly a lot.
What I've only picked up is that discipline.
Yeah,
A lot of guys have not discipline, and a skill without discipline.
I also found her like there's not a lot of opportunities around. So
Yeah,
creators, artists, banally, like they have like they have the talent,
yeah,
mara there's no outlet. You know, I don't know about Iran, because I never know. I think photography is quite in demand.
yeah, a lot.
DJ,
Yeah,
right? But then there are also artists who are more visual, like visual artists, right? Look,
yeah,
giddy painter, giddy illustrator.
yeah,
But they don't have the platform to sort of showcase their talent, or even people who sort of know what it is that they do really and have the appreciation for their art. So I think maybe that's why I think it's of course discipline, but I think it's also the fact that the environment itself is failing them.
Yeah. So you know what? I always tell my team, Gary, sometimes you just have to create opportunities for yourself. I'll give you a very good example. Some of these outlets, Terena, okay, taking you back to my days, focus is more DJing fair. I used to get paid 300 per day. Ke tloga ka sound, ke ya ko that outlet. That's the amount in a corner. But the idea was not to get tšhelete from that outlet. The idea was batho ba batlang to that outlet ke bona batho ba e le gore ba tlo fa tšhelete o e nyakang. Just to give you an example, ke letsitse ko a place ba re mo Daki.
Yeah, yo, Joe, ke kale yo.
Ke letsitse mo Daki.
Yeah.
Ke kry 500 per day. Ke tshwere sound. But because ne ke na le sound e nngwe, what we did is sound e le ne le ya private function, but re na le sound ya bo residence. So he motho a le ko outlet a re ngwana ko hae wa nyala ka osana khopela sound re tseya sound e wa ntlhaloganya. So he nke re bile discouraged by 500 per day ne re ka se ene ne re ka se kgone go expanda. They always say start with what you have.
That's true.
Wa ntlhaloganya.
Yeah.
Start with what you have. Yeah, no. And let me tell you, we will be having a different conversation 5 years from now.
I hope so. From your time to God's. Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, now we were given opportunities by people who we felt okare if our camera is so. That means bagasuti.
Yeah.
Yeah. So re thomile ka di-camera tse nnyane re fitlha ko plekeng re bona gore ba ba tshwere di-camera tsa wa ntlhaloganya. But we knew gore re na le vision e bjang wa bona.
Mm.
The team le bona ba o botsa gore abuti ga re invest in 1 2 3 wa bona, then re ira di-plan-e re kgona go kry-a that investment re injecta into the business. I mean we started off re berekisa before re berekisa the cameras tse re di tshwereng. There was a camera e nngwe ba re ke D5, I mean nailing that camera, it was a Canon. It was a very small Canon, but because the guys had skill, no ka se re ba shootile ka that camera.
Yeah.
So that's where I started seeing the potential, and after seeing that potential, that's when really we need to grow the equipment. Currently we are sitting on more than 6 cameras,
That is insane.
and high-end cameras, and we are also sitting on more than 4 drones for one, and audio equipment, PA system. So there's a lot that we have. Tailoring, if nke re give up ile nako ele nke re sa di fitlhella gona no.
So we were just talking earlier before the interview that CALUS, you have sort of 3 companies under it.
Correct,
And the one we just spoke of now is the media company.
Yes.
But you also do IT on the side. How did you find yourself in IT?
So nna go tloa from ke no re from primary ke rata computer.
Oh, so pila no, I see it like because kale nako ke re lo banyana re ne re le bona batho ba tshwaneleng o kry motho a tsere especially bo DJ ba sheba ba ntse ba thomile o DJ ka di laptop
le nna ke thomile o letsa ka
o shika ka laptop
but ebile nna ne ke sa tsamaya ka laptop ne ke tsamaya ka tower street, another friend a tshwara screen re tsamaya ka griba. That's what we used to do.
That is insane.
I remember this other day nona le 21st go extension. 21st ele, in fact ebile before that 21st ka nako o ne setse ke thoma go kry-a soundnyana. My first event e mpatetse 250 rand ke sena sound, ke hirile dipikara ka 200 rand. Ge ke fetsa go hira dipikara ka 200 go di lata ko ne tshwanetse ke di hirileng ke tsheletse modala wa teng mo 1430 rand ka sala ka 20 rand. That was my first function, the graduation, and the person who nampatela was someone who's currently in parliament.
Oh, that is
What hello?
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I think we took a humble beginnings and how we shouldn't be discouraged by small beginnings. I think it's skinny to another. We shouldn't be, but like I think it's also quite hard when the going gets hard. Like okay, 250 or like I'm sure it's really like a very tough journey for you. But like where do you get the motivation to keep going? Like
so I think look jarating and back then look jarating and also having a supportive partner as well. So I get a lot of support from my wife, to be honest. The support emanating from na kuri it from the get-go.
You were a partner from way back then?
From 2011.
Oh, okay.
Re ntse re pusha ba botlhe and so forth. So understanding vision yaka le ena na tlhaloganya okay, this is what we can do, this is what we can do together and so forth. So it thusitse a lot. I don't want to lie. And akere bjanong when you have a partner wa tlhaloganyang gore okay re ya ko kae, o kgone go fa di-suggestion in line with where you are going as well. So that actually helps, and lay the support we get from both families as well. So that also helps, and I think now I got to be exposed to people babaranandi businesses from a very early age.
Yeah, which I was about to ask now. Yeah,
Yeah,
like how do you sort of because you do a lot.
yeah,
Like you're a DJ,
yeah,
you also run three companies basically.
correct.
How do
Yeah.
you balance all of these things and make sure that you optimize the operations of all of these?
So having processes in place also helps. For one, I remember when used to stay Kumaraleta, there was this guy. He used to drive a Lamborghini, a tsamaya ka dikoloi tse di very expensive cars. So this other time, umfa lefty, ne ke rata a Q7 at the time.
The Audi.
Yeah, the first generation, yeah, the Q7. Ang fa lefty, go tonya. I'm pretty sure what are you studying? I'm a software developer. And then how do you get where you are? Konano. I run 6 companies. For one. So now him saying he runs 6 companies, kana kwele negele DJ ke study ya, and then yeah, yeah, would DJ during the weekend. So I was like, oh, if that guy can do 6 companies,
Surely I can do
now
this.
I can do the DJing and also study IT and establish an IT business, create website and so forth. So this other time he said, can I show you my marks? Kamanta my marks because he also had a company and it's IT related and so forth. So Kamanta the marks tsaka. He was surprised. He was like, look, focus on this thing. But he was also discouraging the DJing side of things. For one.
Naturally.
So I had to prove to him and
As
my
well.
family as well. For one. Yeah. So that guy, when we left Moreleta back then, uh, he called me this other time, he graduated, he graduating. Then he was like, look, ya kuphinete, ucheke, gore o ka ira yang." So then when I found my first job, Nele Spani, ele the DJing, and also I was studying further. Yeah, so there was a lot.
Also, current development, we already saying chicken and one.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So even when I said I go kunun nagi sa irisi, yeah, but there is time where like I want to rest. Yeah,
Surely there is. Thank you so much for coming for the interview.
yeah, yeah.
I hope I didn't keep you long.
No, it's fine. Naively, I thought we were going to be here for an hour or 1 hour.
Ish, when we get proper equipment with proper memory, with
Yeah,
proper,
yeah.
we'll do an hour.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. But then that's why I was saying, don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
Start with what you have, and we will be having a different conversation.
Conversation.
Yeah,
I received that.
yeah,
To someone right now who is starting a business, who is also a creative entrepreneur,
yeah,
who is also someone who is like sort of going into uncharted territories within their history, like maybe go family on no.
yeah.
What what words of advice or encouragement would you give to such a person who like to keep going?
That's why I'm saying start with what you have,
Yeah.
and then someone is watching.
Yeah.
What Halwan? Who thought for uh, a company from Hamanskral will be doing these big funerals? What Halwan? We did funeral ya Ferguson, ya Shona.
Okay, that's a different conversation. How
Yeah.
did you get the booking? How do you get the booking to say come?
So remember, you need to create this oneness. So Rena, we were lucky. We created this oneness. We did a website for the funeral parlor, and after doing the website, Babona content creator. Then we worked hand in hand with Dignified. I don't know if you know Dignified.
No, I'm not
Dignified
familiar.
it's a live streaming company.
Oh,
So we work hand in hand with Dignified. Dignified is a funeral parlor. We automatically become part of that engagement or client base. For one. Then uh, we have many funeral parlors that we work with. Abo Abobo Brody, which is the one Eloring Erfile, a lot of those
Yeah,
opportunities. Then Bumehe, we also working with the funeral parlor go Venda, Barege Tabelo funeral.
yeah.
We work with Ipinoto and Bukatele and so forth. So whenever there is a big funeral, like
Yeah.
Level 2 Mountains as well, whenever there is a big funeral, one of those funeral parlors will have the job, and right now we are
I
the
can't
photographers.
how do you come back from that? Like how do you come back from shooting with the Fergusons and Osam Nalamahit, like still being able to come back and be humble? Like how people are brave
Waiti, I think it's how you were raised also counts. What shall I? Um, that's why Gary, people from Hammanskral, there's a lot of talent. A lot of Batu, they they take themselves for granted. What shall I? And even when we are at these places, we never say we come from Centurion or Midrand where we stay. We
oh,
stay there.
mm,
We are not from there. Oban.
mm-hmm.
So the organization comes from Amaskral. That's the roots that our organization. But it doesn't mean hore rena originator from
From there.
Midrand. So that's why Gary, who thought hore the photographer tsa Mahamanskraal di ka shoota funeral ya ko Ferguson or di ka shoota funeral ya AKA or George Bezos or King Valley TV as an example. But we did a lot of those funerals. We did a lot of those funerals we do. Wabana bo Patrick Ndlovu, Patrick Shahi, there's a lot.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.